This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so I just wanted to introduce Paul Glenn, who has kindly offered his expertise and his time to go through NFTs and tell me about, or tell us about his journey. As far as I'm aware, it sort of started, right at the end of December last year, beginning of January. So Paul is sort of just outside Norwich way, so Norfolk. Owns a business, Labyrinth Mini Movies, so videographer, drone footage, that sort of thing. I've known Paul for quite a few years now in the business sort of network. So I'll pass it over to you now, if that's okay, Paul.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
You should be able to share, mate.
I'm just going to share my screen.
Yeah, you should be able to, mate. Yeah, brilliant.
And I'll pop this. I'll pop this into. I put some very. Oh yeah, I've got it the wrong way around. Hang on, swap it around. So can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are NFTs? So just to reiterate what Mark said, I'm not by any means an expert with NFTs, but I'm probably, if you're not savvy with NFTs, I'm probably the best person to talk to because I'm not an expert. I literally, I purchased my first NFT on the 29th of December last year, twiddling my thumbs with a few beers inside me, and really just a bit confused about the whole thing. And before I bought my first NFT, I really didn't know where to go and where to buy any, if I wanted to buy any, and what I was going to do with them. So yeah, so that's my background with NFTs. I'm not an expert. I've been on a sharp learning curve from literally for the last 4 weeks, on a sharp learning curve, to the point now where I've not only bought NFTs, I've bought rubbish ones that I don't know why I bought. I've bought really good ones that I think are quite cool. And I've actually started minting NFTs. I did that quite quickly. And to the point now where I've actually minted over 1,000 NFTs. And I've sold quite a few NFTs. I've sold almost $200 worth of these things. So let's get started. I put a few slides together to explain this little journey. So the first question is, what are NFTs? And there's going to be people that absolutely know what an NFT is, but I'm going to start with the basics. So it's a non-fungible token. Okay, so unlike CryptoCoin or any of the other coins, it's not something that you can use for purchasing things, or it's not as of yet something you could use. So you don't really treat it as money. It's literally an item that's currently identified as art. So it can be like a photograph, it can be an illustration, it can be a video or an audio file. And what makes NFTs special is that they move around exactly the same as what coins move around on, the crypto coins move around, and that is they move around on the blockchain. And it means that if you own the rights to an NFT, then it's just like a ledger. It's written on a blockchain, it's copied down that blockchain, and it means that it's very difficult for somebody to take ownership away from you so long as that blockchain exists. So it's a very cool way to say I own something. And with art, I mean, everybody's got, or anybody can get a copy of the Mona Lisa, but for sure, if it's not been done already, there'll be an NFT of the Mona Lisa, and it would have been minted as an original NFT for that painting if it's not already been done, and then it'll have a value on it. Okay, and it's so when you're creating NFTs, one of the rules that you have to abide by is you have to be using original material to put up into the blockchain. So that's pretty much what an NFT is. So it's a photograph, it's an audio file, or it's a video file. It's something that should be original, and it's recorded in the blockchain, and whatever's recorded in the blockchain is fixed there for the life of the blockchain. Okay. So the next thing is, so now we know what an NFT is. The question is, how do you get an NFT? How do you buy an NFT? How do you look at NFTs? Or how do you create NFTs, and how do you sell them? Okay, so exactly the same as any kind of commerce, you use a marketplace. And in the recent times, a lot of marketplaces have been jumping up. Probably one of the most famous is OpenSea. What I did was I just went onto the internet to find just these few. So we've got 5 here. Binance has got a marketplace for NFTs. You've got the marketplace itself, Super Rare, OpenSea, SoulSea, and Crypto.com. Now, there is literally hundreds of marketplaces where you could go and buy NFTs. I was talking with Dean at the beginning of this call before everybody came in, because one of the question marks with NFTs at the moment is that it seems that one marketplace can't mix with another marketplace, and at first it sounds like a massive problem, but if you think about it, it's a bit like the real world. So you might have a market in Peterborough, and I live in Norwich, so there'll be a market in Norwich. So I can buy some products at the market in Norwich. You can't buy them products unless you come to the Norwich market. And in the same respects, I can't buy the things that are in Peterborough unless I go to the Peterborough market. So it's pretty much the same in the NFT world. You have all these marketplaces, and at the moment, the technology of different blockchains and different organizations that have created these marketplaces, they don't talk to each other. So this is something that in the beginning, maybe it's something to think about, maybe it's not. It depends how serious you want to. If you're in the art world and you want to place your art into NFTs, then absolutely you want to make sure you're in the right marketplace for your type of art. So you want to do some research. Now, on the next, I'll show you the next slide, because what I ended up in the Crypto.com Marketplace. There's 2 reasons I ended up there, and I'm going to explain them in a minute. Now, the other marketplaces like OpenSea is a much more well-known marketplace. It's a bigger marketplace than, say, Crypto.com. And also the Binance is a bigger marketplace. But if you think about, if you walk into a real market and it's a massive market, maybe there's 1,000 stalls, maybe there's 10,000 stalls, then it's kind of good for the buyer, but for the seller, it's horrible, because all of a sudden you're a little fish in a big pond trying to sell or get your NFTs noticed, and your marketplace is huge, and the opportunity for people to actually find you is going to be reduced. Whereas in a smaller marketplace, so long as the niche is the right niche, that might be better for people to find you in that marketplace. So thinking about where you're going to put your NFTs, or where you're going to buy your NFTs, you need to think about the marketplace you're going to use, especially if you're putting your own art there. Because once you mint something onto a blockchain, I think you can move it to another blockchain, but it's very complicated, and it will cost you in fees that are called gas fees, and that's going to be the next subject. So the first reason that swayed me to use Crypto.com NFT platform was this, because when I first started looking on YouTube to try and find out information about how you use NFTs, what are they, and all these different things, trying to learn what this game was all about, this thing. It seemed, especially like say 12 months ago, it would cost you a lot of money to simply either mint an NFT into a blockchain, or if you wanted to purchase one, you would have to pay fees for the information to change on the blockchain so that you are now the owner of an NFT. I think that in the past, the fees used to be very high, but what's happened is as NFTs have become more popular, and they're still very not popular, so it's still only a very small proportion of the population are actually understanding or trying to understand NFTs. But as it's becoming more popular, then some of these platforms are reducing the cost of actually managing your NFT. And so on the previous slide, I go back to it, OpenSea, if you wanted to actually mint artwork onto OpenSea, at least last time I looked, you had to pay Ethereum coin to get it minted. And when you sold a piece, you have to pay a fee for that sale, and so on and so on. So the gas fees that are based on the technology, all the computers that are calculating and recording that transaction on is using electricity, it's using power, using computers, using people, and so on. And the gas fee is paying for that. Okay. And these gas fees can fluctuate rapidly to the point where you could buy an NFT at one time in the day, and you buy it at another time in the day, and the gas fee will be different based on demand of using those computers to do the calculation and to do the recording. So this worried me a little bit, because I didn't want to be outlaying a lot of money to A, buy NFTs, and C, create NFTs so that I could sell them. I didn't want to be splashing money out alongside that in case this was just going to be something that just doesn't do anything, you know? So I did more research, and that's when I found out that Crypto.com, you sign up with Crypto.com, it's free to sign up and get an account so you can go into their marketplace. In fact, you can go to their marketplace without an account and look. So you can browse what NFTs they have on their marketplace just by going to their website, which is crypto.com/NFT. Now, if you have an Crypto.com account and you're using the Crypto.com app, as I was, then it kind of like, okay, I'm actually I'm trading coin, and I'm managing my own coin in Crypto.com. So it made so much sense to go to their marketplace. And guess what? At this moment in time, when you mint you mint NFTs into the Crypto.com, there's no charge. You mint it, it doesn't cost anything. Their standard fee when you sell an NFT is 15%. But at the moment, up until the end of March, it's actually only 1.99%, which is nothing really. It's just, they're not charging. I think that they want to get their marketplace to grow as fast as possible. So they just give this amazing opportunity. So I'm minting NFTs like they're going out of fashion, putting them up into my portfolio, so that when March comes, maybe they go to 15%, maybe it goes even to a different number. I don't know. So for me, it just made sense. A, I was using Crypto.com, and B, it's basically free. So it's only going to cost you your time to create something, some kind of artwork, and then you just your time to put it up onto the blockchain, and it costs you nothing, zilch. Whereas some of those others are going to cost you in those gas fees. But the gas fees, they're not a lot of money, but when you're minting maybe hundreds, then it's going to come into a few pounds, euros, dollars worth of cost. So yeah, so that's basically where I am. The next thing is, what is really, really cool is that if you have got a Crypto.com account, you link the account to the website that runs the NFTs, and it makes buying NFTs like so easy, okay, because your account's linked. So you can buy NFTs using your app. You can also buy with a credit card, so you get an option to put your credit card details in, or debit card. But what I use is my app. I can use any of my coin in my Crypto.com account, and I can buy in Ethereum. I can buy in the Crow. I can buy in dollars, US dollars. You buy the coin in whatever you happen to have, okay? And so you can purchase NFTs very quickly. Within seconds, I can purchase NFTs. You can view the marketplace. It is a bit glitchy, I must say that, but I think they all are a bit glitchy. I think that all these marketplaces are in a race. And I liked the analogy that Dean said, that remember back in, there might be young people in the call, but remember back in the days when there was VHS tape and there was beta tape, and there was even some other like tapes. And it almost looked then, Mark, like your video had your glasses up, like with the thing there, but I just realized it's actually a photo. Yeah, so they're all in a race to try and get the marketplace, yeah, to get their lion's share. So a lot of the platforms are very glitchy, okay, so expect it to be a bit awkward at times. Like, for instance, Crypto.com, they have not got an app for their NFT marketplace. You use the app to buy, but you can't use the app actually for the marketplace, which is crazy. But they say that they're going to get an app up and running. Some of the other marketplaces do have apps, so they can be used on your tablet or your phone. But you know, all in all, I'm finding it like really like cool. You can see the picture on the right at the bottom that is my channel, if you like, and which is called Paul the G-Man, which is a crazy name. I can't believe I used that name, but yeah, so I've got altogether, you can see that there's 844 views of my stuff that I've minted. And it was, in fact, I think these numbers have changed now. I've created at that point 155 individual images. But every time I create an image, when you mint, you get an opportunity to mint. You can mint a one-off, or you can mint it 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10. So you make 10 editions of one piece of art, and then it gives you a different kind of selling opportunity. So what I tend to do is when I mint something, I always mint it as 1 of 10 and 2 of 10 and so on. So it means that when I mint one image, it's actually 10. And that's how I've got to be able to mint 1,500 images already. Just coming to the end of my slides, I wanted to point out some mistakes that I made that you could not make if you wanted to, because and some of these are stupid, but these are mistakes that I made. Okay, so the first thing is, if you're going to create an account on a marketplace to maybe either host your NFTs, buy your NFTs, or sell NFTs, think long and hard about the name of your account, because at least on crypto.com, you can't change it. So I set this up on the 29th of December, I think, with a little bit cut with alcohol. And I just thought, it says, put a username in. So I didn't understand what the username meant. I thought, it's just going to be. So I used Paul the G-Man for my PlayStation and when I'm playing games and stuff like that. So I thought, do you know what? I'll just whack it in there. I whacked it in, and now my account is called Paul the G-Man. So it's crypto.com/NFTs/Paul the G-Man. And you can't change it. Okay. Now, if I knew that now, then it would have been NFT something related to the style of. So if say that you're, I don't know, maybe a portrait artist, you could do NFT portraits, you know, try that, or a version of that, which means that people looking for NFTs that are portraits, because your username is searchable. If you type into crypto.com NFT marketplace, if you type Paul the G-Man, you'll see all my NFTs, all bloody 1,500 of them will come up in a search. But nobody's going to search for Paul the G-Man because I'm not famous, especially not using that tag. So if you're going to set up an account, think long and hard about what you want to mint, what you want your account to represent. Is it your business? Is your business, you know, a title that people are going to be looking for? So that's all I've got to say on that. Think about that, because I definitely dropped a bit of a plonker decision there. The next thing is, if you're going to mint your NFTs, and I see, I told my brother, my brother's minted a load of NFTs. We both did it at roughly the same time. He did it a few days after me, but he keeps minting them. He just mints them. Yeah. There's no order to them. Now, at least with crypto.com, and I know that with many of the others, you can create collections. Okay. Now with crypto.com, you can create a collection without minting an NFT. So once you've got an account where you can create an NFT, so you're now a creator, you can create multiple collections and just leave them empty. And those collections, you can change the name as many times as you want. You can change the description as many times as you want. You can change the profile picture and the banner picture for your collection as many times as you want. But when you mint an NFT, at the point of minting, in fact, I'm just going to jump forward now because it makes sense. Here we go. This is on the left-hand side. It's a screenshot of me minting a picture, okay? And you'll see here, let me get my thing on, that you get an opportunity to put the name of the piece that you're minting. You can put a description, but you can add it to a collection, which is optional, okay? And adding to a collection is what, when I first started minting, I didn't add my pieces into a collection. So what happens is, very quickly, your profile fills up with NFTs, and the oldest ones are at the top and the newer ones are at the bottom. So when you've done 10 or 20, people can't see the new ones, and or if they go to the bottom, they can't see. So it becomes basically a bag of NFTs, and it's difficult to kind of to move around inside your profile to see what you've got, whether it's something that I might like. So where it says optional, add it into a collection. If you've not created a collection, you can't add it to a collection. You can't create the collection here. You have to create the collection before you mint the NFT. Okay, so create that collection. Yeah, create the collection. It doesn't even matter what you call it, because you can change it later. And then, excuse me, when you mint your NFTs, you can select the collection, but everything you put on this screen, you can't change it ever. Okay, the name of your NFT is there forever. Its description, your category, whether you choose art or whatever, it's there forever. The number of editions that you're going to do is there forever. Okay, so it's important you get this right. I go back now to my lessons learned. So definitely mint NFTs into collections, because you can create a lot of nice order for, especially when you've got hundreds of these things, thousands. Oh yeah, another thing is with collections, it's searchable. So it's a searchable thing. So the text in your collection is searchable. And it is, believe it or not, the title of your NFT is not searchable. At least in crypto.com, the description is searchable, your username is searchable, and the collections are searchable, but the actual username of your NFT is not searchable. And I know this because I've got NFTs where I only give it a title, and I search for the title and I can't find it. But then I've got NFTs where I give it a description. I search for the description and it comes up in the search. It might be a glitch, because I did mention that these sites are glitchy, so it might be something that they'll fix in the future. I don't know. But yeah, so think about your username, make collections and mint into the collection at the point of minting. The next thing is when you're pricing. So the first thing I did, and you'll see this when you start looking at these marketplaces, is I put some crazy prices on some stuff. So bits of imagery and illustrations and pictures that took me minutes to make, I was putting a $450 price tag on, thinking that, you know, some millionaire is going to buy all my NFTs, and it just doesn't happen. Okay. So you don't want to be pricing your NFTs too high, but you don't want to be pricing them too low either. So I priced, when I didn't sell any, when I put literally minted these NFTs, and I priced them all at 350, 450, 250, and people didn't even look at them. Okay. And then a few days later, I went in, I took them, because you can take them off the marketplace, because maybe it's good to talk about this. There's a difference between minting and pricing. When you mint your NFTs, that happens, and once that's done, you can't change anything about the minting of them. Okay. Now, when you price them, you price it as that's a separate task. So you mint, say you got 10 images, you mint them, and it takes a bit of time because it's got to go on, it's got to be, you know, executed on the blockchain. But after a few minutes, or if it's busy, maybe 10 or 20 minutes, they'll be minted. And then when you go into your NFT, you will have an opportunity then to put a price and sell it. You can sell it as a price, or you can sell it as an auction. What I tend to, like I say, what I did, I put some big silly prices on, but when it didn't work, I went in and I took them off the sale. So there's currently no fees unless you sell one. So I took them all off sale, waited a few minutes, and then I put them back on again, and I priced them all at $1. And they started selling, and I sold loads. Literally, they were selling, like, my phone would be binging in the middle of the night, and somebody clearly in another country was buying my NFTs. So I slowly was creeping my prices up. So in the beginning, $1 they were selling. Then I would creep it up to $2. They would sell. $5 they would sell. I think the most I've ever sold one for is $10. I sold a few at $10. And basically, because I'm only paying just under 2% charge, so the dollars build up in your account. So on your account, it shows how much that you've got and that you've sold. You've got a history of everything that you've sold. And then if you've connected your crypto.com to your account, you can shove it straight into your crypto.com wallet, and it lands in your wallet as the dollar equivalent in Crow. Okay. But yeah, I would say at the minute, I'm not an artist. If you're a real artist, and your art's got some genuine value in the real world, then absolutely, then you could be thinking about putting a good price on, you know, hundreds, thousands, or whatever. Definitely. But think about your price and have some logic in your mind as to how you're pricing. The next thing is, I remember that I said that when I mint an image, I mint it as an edition. So I mint one image and I select 10. So when you do that, you can price what I'm seeing in the marketplace everywhere is the number. If you've got 10 or 5 of the same image, the first one tends to have a premium price. Okay. So what I tend to do now is that once I've minted an image, I mint it in a series in 10 editions. And the first one I sell is number 10. And I give it a price of $5, $10, $15, whatever. The first edition, I either don't sell it at all, I leave it there for offers, or what I might do with that one is just put it on an auction and give it a crazy price, $100, $200 or something like that. But it seems people want the number one. Most of my offers, so what happens is people can make an offer on your art. Most of my offers are where people want so they see it, but they don't want number 9, they don't want number 7, they want number 1. Because in their mind, they believe that in the future, NFTs, the number 1 of 10 is going to be worth more than the number 10 of 10, which is probably correct. So think about how you price them and give the number 1 maybe a premium pricing. The next thing is don't price them all at once. So let's say that you mint 5 images, and each of the 5 images you've done them as edition 1 through to 10 for each one. What I was doing was I would go to each one and I would click sell, say $5, go to the next one, sell $5, go to the next one. So I was whacking them all on to sell all 10 of them images and then doing that for each one. But what happens is there's a massive correlation between when you price your NFTs and how visible they are in the marketplace. So there's obviously some kind of algorithm that's going on where a brand new minted, a brand new priced piece of NFT, when it's brand new priced, then the algorithm's saying to people, hey, look, this is brand new, just got on the marketplace. So it puts it on the market. So if you do a search for your own art and you've just priced them, you'll actually see your own art appearing. But if you go back the next day, you won't see your own art there. So I think that the way the marketplace is, the algorithm works at the minute is that anything that's newly placed with a price is getting priority in the marketplace for people's screens. So that's kind of good to know, because just don't chuck everything on at once. So price 1 of each of them, or 2 of each of them, and see how they go. And then if you want to stimulate more in the algorithm of the marketplace, maybe the next day, just whack another 3 or 4 on. Because another thing, what I find is that when somebody buys one of my NFTs, they go looking on my page for more, and they usually buy of a similar style. So it's rare that one person buys one NFT. They buy one and then they might buy another one and another one and another one. So I've got some of my buyers have bought 8 and 10 NFTs. So yeah, don't price them all at once. Excuse me. The last bit of advice I've got, I put this down and then I put another page on. I've got some more advice, but at this point, the last piece of advice that I gave was like, enjoy it. Because at the minute, at least with crypto.com, it's free. So it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to get, maybe you've got some art, some photographs or something. I've minted some photographs that I took, which I think are great. But guess what? Photographs just don't cut it in this world at the moment. Nobody's even looking at my photographs. But I get a stupid picture of a lion and everybody wants to buy it and look at it. It's I don't get it. But you know, you got to, if you want to sell NFTs, you've got to put NFTs up that the marketplace want to buy, not NFTs that you find attractive. Okay, but saying that, there's nothing wrong with buying NFTs that you do find attractive, and that's exactly what I've done. I've bought some that I think are kind of funky. I like them. So whether you sign up for crypto.com or not, you can quite quickly and not make these mistakes. So when you go on the marketplace, the first thing you'll see is there's a button called curated. And by default, this is switched on. And what it does is all your search results will only be from the curated artists. And they are they tend to be premium artists that are being like looked after by crypto.com. There's some kind of relationship going on there. And they tend a lot of them, I mean, these are not, yeah, these are a little bit expensive. They tend to be quite expensive. Some of them are quite good quality as well. But if you, like it says here, if you turn it, you switch that off, but every time you refresh this page, it comes back on again. So you're constantly switching the curated off to see the real marketplace, yeah, to see what everybody else is whacking into the marketplace. So when you go into the marketplace, you can select your different categories. You've got a search window where you can, up here, where you can type in, you know, if you want to be looking for, I don't know, monkeys, lions, ladies, boys, houses, whatever you want to be looking for. You type your search here, switch this curated off, and then you should get some results down here. And that's about the only tip I've got for like when you're searching in the crypto.com place. I think they need to do some work on searching, because the you know, like if a picture's got a moon in it, unless the person's wrote moon in the description of the NFT, type in moon in the search won't bring up the image of a moon, you know. But maybe in the future they'll get a bit more clever with the search abilities. Then just back to this, where you can see what's happening. It really is very simple. When you're minting an NFT, you have an image, you own the rights to the image. It's an original image that's not been minted before. And you give it a title, you give it a description, even if, you know, come up with something, even if it means copying the title into the description box, because your description is searchable. Always mint into a collection. Make sure you choose a category that's related to the image, and it's entirely up to you whether you mint 10, you know, editions or one edition. I guess, you know, if you've got a piece of art and you don't want there to be 10 copies, you can put a premium price and say this is a one-off. That's it. So it would probably pay to have just number of editions one then. And then you have to follow their guidelines by clicking the thing there, and you create. So that's it, guys and gals. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I've been playing with this for 4 weeks, and where's it going to go? I have no idea. This might be a flash in the pan. It might be something truly amazing. Yeah, that's that now endeth the lesson.
Thank you, Paul. That was really, really good, actually. So, as you know, I dabble in NFTs and that, but I learned quite a lot. So I've got some questions, if that's right. I'm going to throw at you. You might know the answers. So obviously, Justin's just sort of said he is on OpenSea, and yes, the gas fees are quite expensive, and you also have to pay a one-off wallet installation fee of 2.5%, which is paid by the purchaser. So he's asked, why are there declining NFT creators? Any ideas?
Right. I think I got in there. Well, I don't know. I've only got assumptions. I think you in order for them to accept you, they're accepting that you're an artist. Okay. I think that with me, what I did was, because my business is videography, which you could relate to photography. So I created a landing page. So labyrinthminimovies.com/NFTs. I created a landing page. I had a load of pictures that were NFT styled pictures, and I posted them onto my landing page, called it NFTs, wrote a bit of a description about me, and so on. And because when you ask to be a creator, they want a website link, and they want to have proof that you're an artist, basically. Now, my brother, I got two brothers, both of them also at this, just after I did this, they tried to do the same thing. One of my brothers is a painter and decorator, okay? And so he did the same as me. He's a painter and decorator. So his business is enterprisedecorators.com. So he just did enterprisedecorators.com/NFT. He's got some pictures. He did some like filters on some photographs, put them on, but he was declined. And I can only presume that I was just jammy in the way that my URL is related to art in photography and videography. And then there's a NFT landing page where people can actually see my NFT. So I think I just got through because of that. Whereas like with my brother, is a painter and decorator, it's Enterprise Decorators NFT. So they just went, you're not an artist. I mean, he could argue that he is because he's a painter, but you know, whoever was reviewing his case, like, turned him down. Now, my other brother, he actually set up a page on Wix.com for free. He just a Wix.com landing page, and I don't know what his type, but he did do something related to NFT in his URL, and he got in, and he's been minting them, and he's also selling them and so on. So I think it's that image that you give when you're creating. So just to create an account to buy doesn't matter. You can be anybody, but to have an account where you're going to sell, they want to see some evidence that you are an artist.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Yeah, because I created one and I got turned down, but I didn't actually create a page. And obviously mine's training, so they might exactly that say, hold on a minute.
I think that's it,
yeah,
Mark. I
totally agree. Totally agree. So the next question was Justin again. What software do you recommend for creating NFTs? Now I know you spoke about that one earlier.
Yeah, so
use?
I use loads of different things. Just recently I used Canva. I've just made some NFTs that are using, so I used there's an app. I'll tell you the app name, and it will create like kind of like, it's AI, but it's like it creates like paintings. It's called Wombo Dream, WOMBO Dream. It's on Apple and it's on Android, and that piece of software will create some weird stuff. Okay, and you know, it's not particularly stuff that I like, if I'm honest, but some of it's actually done some. I've done some in the style of Van Gogh, sold some of it, and it actually looks like Van Gogh paintings, but it's not. And it is unique because every time it makes it, it's artificial intelligence creating, and you just put the word in, you put a phrase in to this software, and it will create a one-off piece of art, and you can call it an NFT. It will always be unique because it will make it different every time. Yeah, and it will give you some art to start with. And like I say, I've just recently done some in Canva, because in Canva you can add animation. So I've done some, what do I call it? Some positive sayings. So I've just like looked on the web, found some positive sayings. I don't know if you know this. Let me get my my website up, because I can't remember what it's called. Have you heard of? Go away. Let me get this website up. Right. Have you heard of a piece of software called Writer? That's RYTR.me. It's called Writer. Over Christmas, they were doing a special for, it's basically an artificial intelligence copy creator. Yeah. But it uses, there's some new technology that came out about 12 months ago, and it uses this special technology. So this is going to sound so scammy what I did. So what I did was I went to Google and I asked for the top 20 positive phrases. I copied them into Writer and highlighted each phrase and said, rewrite it. And the artificial intelligence took what was written by some famous person and just rewrote. So you get this message with different words. So now it's original content. I know it sounds scammy, but it's original content. I pasted that into an image that I created with that wombat thing that I told you about. And I minted them. Well, I pasted the text into the picture on Canva and had the typewriter effect. And I've minted 10 of them on this evening. They're getting views. I've not sold one yet, but I don't know. So, you know, I think you just got to really kind of try and think outside the box. I think the scary thing is, I'll be honest with you, the scary thing is with NFTs, it seems that what you would call traditional real art don't work in NFT world at the moment. So if you've got a beautiful picture, I've took some lovely pictures. I like being a photographer. I took some lovely pictures and I minted 8 or 10 of them, and they won't do anything. I would buy them off myself for cash, but nobody's buying the NFT because I don't know why. I don't know. That's beyond me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Paul. There's quite a lot out there, like Bored Ape, you know, pictures of apes being bored. I mean, you know, they're going for millions. You know, Justin Bieber's just bought one, 1.39 million, and it's a picture of an ape. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how does this work in real world? You know? Yeah,
it's just crazy.
Can I just fire a few more questions at you, Paul? Is everyone okay for time? Yeah. So, do they exist only in the metaverse, Luke? So Luke's not here with us anymore, but I'll ask the question. So do they?
Is that Luke Skywalker's not with us anymore?
Yeah. Do they exist only in the metaverse? Well, yes, that they do, don't they? Because they're obviously a digital format.
Yeah, I think like so. The NFT is there. Obviously, you've got the original image. So when you take a picture of your wife or your daughter or your dog or your car or whatever, and you mint it onto the blockchain, and somebody buys that, they're only buying ownership of the minted NFT. The original image still belongs to you as the photographer, and if you paint a picture, it's the same story. So what people are buying is they're buying ownership of what exists on the blockchain. So you're absolutely right, Mark. And I don't even know if the image is on the blockchain or just the rights to the images on the blockchain.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, no. So obviously,
sorry,
John
Paul.
actually. Oh, sorry, Dean. Yeah.
No, sorry, Paul. Just on that, would you say that the person who purchased the NFT then, if they were then to print said NFT that they'd purchased and actually produced it into a physical form, they can't really do that because they don't have the copyright to the item. So really, the item does just exist in digital format.
Well, right, I would agree with that, but I was watching I watched a bit of Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was gifted an NFT on one of his shows. I don't know, a month ago or 2 months ago, and the guy who gifted him the NFT, he gave it to him in it was really like in this beautiful case. It had lighting, and there was a physical picture of something. I can't remember what it was. And then there was a certificate that had got the NFT information on it. So, but obviously he's got, if he's the owner, I don't know. I kind of like imagine. So when I mint an NFT, I deliberately make it of a reasonably healthy pixel size in case somebody wants to print it off, you know. But I don't know, Dean, whether that is the case or not. I really don't know. And
quite a lot of the guys who own Bored Apes print them off, but I don't think they're to distribute. They're to say, I've got it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. So I think that's the difference. You've got it so you can put it on the wall. So it's like buying it from the market or an art shop, but it's not actually where the money is. So if someone stole that off your wall, it's virtually next to nothing. You know, the money is.
Okay, so in which case they then can't just reproduce it and start selling the image.
No,
In
well,
physical
that's it,
format.
because they don't own the image to reproduce and sell. I would agree with that. And when you buy an NFT, you're buying ownership of the. So I would imagine, let's say I bought an NFT of the Mona Lisa, and they minted, I don't know, 1,000. Then I would absolutely print the Mona Lisa out, stick it on my wall, but then I would print out the NFT thing as well, and maybe place that with the picture. And I can say that NFT belongs to me, and this is representing the NFT. I guess in the same way that you could walk into an art show with your camera, take a picture of a piece of art, and print that out and put it at home, but you couldn't sell it. No. And I think that's the main thing what Mark said. You wouldn't have any ownership rights to sell, copyrights to sell, but you could have it yourself.
I can only relate to the Bored Ape because I've been following them quite a lot, and most people do it to say I'm a member of the Bored Ape Boat Club, basically. So it's not actually, the print means nothing. It's like, but I own it, and there's the certification, so to speak. But obviously, the only thing is the actual money is in the digital version of the picture. And yes, you can resell it, but you can't copy it or reproduce it. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Dean? Yeah. Sorry. John asked, how do you mint an NFT from a picture?
Okay, so you've got a picture at home. Yeah, it's your picture. You've got ownership rights to the picture. So you put it in some good light. You get your phone or a decent camera, because most NFTs, the pixel quality is, I don't know, 1,000 by 1,000 or 1,000 by 800. So they're not massive images. And so you take a picture with your phone, or if you've got a decent SLR, take a picture with the SLR, get your lighting right. So you're getting a good representation of the image, and you own the image. So you've got the rights to it, and then go through the process of minting it, which is in that slide that I showed you before. So once you've created an account where you can mint, you simply click upload, you select the image that you've just took with your phone or the SLR, up it goes, and then you give it a title, give it and all those things that I said.
So effectively take a picture of the picture, a good quality digital representation of the picture.
That's it.
Yeah. And then it's in digital format. Therefore, you can edit it in software and then upload it to be minted. Is that correct, Paul? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That answers the question, John. Hopefully. I haven't got any more questions on the chat. Is there any more questions from anybody at all? Okay. Can I quickly, before we go, can I just ask you I know you said that you've minted X amount and something. So can you just tell me, a little bit about your journey, as in like how many have you minted? How many have you actually sold? I know you sort of said that was around $200. Can you just sort of explain that, just some statistics, just for the guys quickly, if that's okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 1 second, because I recently downloaded the data from the page. So
also, if you wanted to put your page in the chat, your page link to the chat, then the guys can just probably have a look, see what you're doing. Because I look at your stuff and some of it's quite surreal, to be honest. And I just bought those monkey ones like you did.
Yeah. Oh, they're brilliant. Only $1. It's $1.
Yeah.
It's not even real money, because I earned them from selling an NFT and I buy an NFT.
Yeah. No.
So I'm just going to share my screen again, if that's all right.
Of course.
Right. So I've got this Excel sheet that's on the screen right now. All I've done is I've just copied the various like earnings that I've done from the NFT. So you can see that if I go down to the bottom here, then In fact, December the 31st, I sold on December the 31st at 29 minutes past 6. I sold my first NFT, and it put in my bank account or in my crypto 98 cents. Okay, so remember that they charge 1.99%. So this was a $1 sale, and for every $1 sale, they're getting 2 cents from me, and I get to keep the 98 cents, just shy of $1. And basically, here, my Excel sheet, I've got it subtotaling all against the users of, so altogether, I've sold 90 individual NFTs in the last, what is that, 5 weeks? No, 4.5 weeks, I think. No, 5 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's netted a genuine $185 profit. And you can see that I've got it sorted here. I've got it actually sorted highest to lowest. So I've sold, what's that, 1, 2, 3. I got 3 lots of $10 for some. Just to give you like an idea, if I filter this, what can I filter on username? Yeah, so purchase users. Can I sort it on like that? So you can see, remember I was saying that they come back. So there's a guy here called Axel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's bought 5 NFTs. Guy called Ben FT, he's bought 2 off me. This guy called Crypto MD, he's bought loads. Look, all these he bought off me.
He definitely likes you, doesn't
he? And if you look at the dates, he's coming back. So what's happening is he bought some off me a while back, like at the beginning of January, and then I mint some more a few days later, and I don't know if it fires up on his screen or he just comes back to have a look. And I think this is, if you want to start selling NFTs, you almost want these people to keep coming back, And so if we say just shy of $200 earned and 90 NFTs sold, but then if I'm on the website here now, and I'm just going to click on my NFT.
Sorry, Paul, can I quickly ask, how many of those did you say have been resold?
Right. Okay. So I think 3. So yeah, if I go to sale and we click on just royalties, there you go.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
I got 2 cents for my crypto girl, which is actually my wife in a bikini with a filter on. She kicked me around the living room. She was all right. She was fine. It wasn't.
She's quite laid back, isn't she? Your wife,
yeah, she's pretty laid back. She's all right.
Yeah.
This brave lion, I got $3 royalty. I sold that to him for $1. He sold it for $30.
Wow.
Fair play. And because he sold it for $30, I get $3. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting with NFTs. So I sell him a brave lion. That I created that on my tablet. Okay. He sells it for $30. I get $3. But now it's up for sale for hundreds of dollars by somebody else who bought it. That guy could just sell it, and then what do I get then? Maybe I get $30 because I always get 10%.
So every time it's resold, you make 10%.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But now when you
do the work once and that's it, isn't it?
That's exactly correct. If I open all these back up again, if you imagine all these, like they've only been sold for weeks. So in 6 months from now, these could be getting resold for $10, $50, $100, or not, or not. I don't know.
You don't know, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like holding my breath with it, but it is, your mind does get a little bit excited when you think about the possibility.
Yeah. And you was touching on why you use crypto. I use crypto.com as well, because it's very expensive on OpenSea with Ethereum prices and everything as it is. It's very expensive. you know, so crypto.com is really good, you know, especially if you're using it as an app to trade as well.
Yeah.
You know, just, yeah. So John wants to know when you're giving your day job up.
Well, right, because I've got 2 day jobs. This is a hobby that could become a job.
Yeah.
I mean, today I was working as Sliding Paradigms. I've landed a job in India. I'll go out there in end of April. Got 2 weeks in India. Really looking forward to that. And then the videography, I'm starting to get my order book up with weddings and stuff like that. So that's kind of going nice.
Cool.
But this is like playing. So this is like a bit of fun that could turn into something, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But just for the sake of whoever's like sees in the call, so my crazy username is Paul the G-Man, and if you search in the search bar of crypto.com/NFT Paul the G-Man, then you'll get all my art. And these are the groups that I was telling you about. So if I click view as the public, then you can see that you've got Snoop Doggy, I've got Inspired by Vincent. Altogether, I've created 165 individual NFTs, but because I always do 10 editions, I've got 1,600 minted. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So that's an opportunity to sell 1,600 pieces. It's nice to get the views. So like people are looking. If I give you let's say we go to Snoop Dogg, I sold $101 worth of Snoop Dogg ones. All these Snoop Dogs are made with that app I told you of. Okay. So in that app, I would type in there Snoop Dogg smoking, and it would come up with this. Then it would come up with this. So it would come up with all different kinds of images. And then I just give them some silly little names. And at the minute, I've got these up for sale. I've got some up for auction as well. I've never sold one at auction, but yeah.
Oh, really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's what is that saying? You've got to be in it to win it or something?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's only just started. NFTs haven't been around long, mostly probably not even a year, you know. So, I mean, I know I keep saying about, you know, Bored Apes, but Bored Apes, you know, you could buy them back in April when they were launched for like $300.
Yeah.
Now the cheapest one you can get is about $350,000. You know, and I know it's not just about the NFT because they've got the whole boat club, you know, the boys club or whatever you want to call it behind the scenes, you know. But it's amazing, you know, what can actually happen with these. So I'm just going to stop the recording because I think we're probably